George Russell's future has been one of the most hotly debated topics in Formula One over the past few months. It now appears that the British driver is preparing to place a much stronger emphasis on Mercedes in his contractual discussions from 2026 onward. For a long time, questions have lingered over Russell's future, but could his reported new $40 million deal have finally closed the door on any possibility of him leaving the Silver Arrows? More importantly, as Mercedes shifts its focus toward what truly matters, the drivers who have been developed and nurtured to reach the pinnacle of the sport, there's little doubt the team is one of the most talked about entities in F1 today. At the center of it all is Russell himself. The current Silver Arrows driver has been in a uniquely tense position, regularly hearing speculation about a possible replacement by Max Verstappen, rumors that, understandably, would be unsettling for any driver. Yet, it's worth remembering that team boss Toto Wolff has consistently stated that his primary goal is to maintain his current driver lineup. Gradually, it's becoming clear that Russell is poised to remain with Mercedes. Reports close to the team indicate that Russell and the Brackley-based squad are finalizing a multi-year contract extension worth an impressive $40 million per season. These same reports also suggest that Verstappen is set to remain with Red Bull for 2026, a logical decision, given that he has yet to experience the Austrian outfit's upcoming power unit and therefore cannot judge whether they will be competitive at the very front. Turning the spotlight back to Russell, the Brit's future has been shaped significantly by these latest developments. Despite knowing he was not Mercedes' first choice for the long term, Russell never wavered in his determination. Instead, he has remained resolute in proving to the team that he deserves his seat. No small task when a four-time world champion has been linked with your position. While it's unclear exactly how far negotiations have progressed, the prolonged wait for confirmation suggests that significant discussions have been happening behind the scenes. It's understood that Mercedes and Russell are most likely to finalize their agreement after the summer break, leaving room for speculation in the meantime. If both sides are committed to continuing together, one might ask, why not seal the deal now instead of dragging out the process? This delay could hint that Wolff's interest in Verstappen hasn't completely disappeared and that serious conversations could resume in 2026, especially if Mercedes gains a clear advantage in engine development by then. However, even if Russell and Mercedes agree to extend their partnership, it will not be without its challenges. Bradley Lord once noted that negotiations between Russell and Wolff are rarely straightforward and often involve clashing over details. One sticking point appears to be the number of sponsor commitments Russell would be expected to fulfill. While Mercedes reportedly wants the contract signed before the summer break, Russell's legal team may hesitate to approve it in such a short time frame. Still, the situation has evolved considerably. After Spa, Russell himself admitted that his position had changed dramatically. No longer burdened by anxiety over his future, he now sees his destiny firmly in his own hands. These last few months I went from worrying about my future to realizing that my performance speaks for itself, Russell explained. Mercedes needs the best driver possible, and I believe I'm right up there. There aren't many people doing a better job. They need me, and I need them. Toto Wolff's stance is equally intriguing. While he has acknowledged that a driver of Verstappen's caliber warrants consideration if available, he has reassured Russell that he can rest easy. Wolff even admitted, as a driver, George is so mature and stable that I don't think external speculation affects his performance. I would have preferred to secure him sooner, but I'm optimistic he'll sleep well over the summer break. Interestingly, the Verstappen discussion has roots in Wolff's transparency. He openly told Russell that he felt obligated to explore Verstappen's intentions for the coming years. Russell, in turn, made it clear that he was aware of the situation and wasn't concerned about being blindsided. Meanwhile, talk of Andrea Kimi Antonelli potentially being loaned to Alpine seems increasingly unlikely given the evolving dynamics between Russell and Mercedes. Wolff's negotiating style, admired by some, criticized by others, has again come under scrutiny, notably from former Mercedes driver Nico Rosberg. Rosberg, who knows Wolff's methods firsthand, labeled him probably the worst negotiator on the grid, suggesting that Wolff's tactic of disappearing during talks can frustrate those trying to finalize deals. Rosberg pointed to Russell's own admission that he wouldn't have a contract signed by Hungary as evidence of deeper strategic maneuvering. "That tells you something's brewing," Rosberg remarked. "And Toto? He'll vanish just when you want to push things forward." In Russell's favor, Helmut Marko has stated with certainty that Verstappen will remain at Red Bull for the 2026 season. This is largely because Verstappen can no longer trigger any exit clause. His current championship position makes it mathematically impossible after Hungary. Marko even confirmed, yes, Max Verstappen will drive for Red Bull in 2026. The bigger picture for Mercedes is clear. They intend to build their long-term success around homegrown talent from their academy. While it's possible Wolff might still consider Verstappen in the future, the more likely path is to create a competitive package for Russell and Antonelli. If Mercedes can deliver a car with cutting-edge technical development, a powerful hybrid unit, and stable operations in Brackley and Brixworth, then the case for bringing in an outside driver becomes far weaker. And that brings us to the ultimate question: will keeping Russell at Mercedes beyond 2026 positively influence the team's development trajectory? More importantly, will it finally end the speculation about Verstappen potentially joining Mercedes in 2027? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and once you do, make sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen now.